Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Chelsea may have been told they can't sign a 22-year-old Premier League striker. Journalist Paul Brown has suggested Chelsea may have been given some encouragement from Arsenal that they can sign Folarin Balogun this summer. Brown spoke to GiveMeSport and shared an update on Chelsea's interest in the Gunners' youngster. Mauricio Pochettino will be keen to bolster his forward line this summer after Chelsea struggled in front of goal last season. The Blues have already moved to bring in Nicolas Jackson from Villarreal, but they are expected to add more firepower to their attack before the window closes. Chelsea have been heavily linked with moves for the likes of Dusan Vlahovic and Victor Osimhen, but a more surprising name to be linked with a switch to Stamford Bridge is Folarin Balogun. Indeed, Chris Whitley has already suggested that Arsenal may be open to doing business with Chelsea over Balogun this summer. Now, Brown has labelled the move one to watch over the coming weeks. Brown believes that Chelsea's interest in Balogun indicates they have been given some encouragement from Arsenal. He said, "They already signed a player in Nicolas Jackson, who I think it's asking a lot of to step up and do that on a regular basis. Would Chelsea be in a position to spend another large chunk of money on a player who might not necessarily be their first choice striker every week? That seems like a false economy really for Chelsea, and I'm not sure they have the money to sign two strikers who they don't regard as necessarily a first choice. So it seems a bit stranger from that point of view, but I don't think Chelsea would be interested in Balogun if they hadn't been given some kind of encouragement, so I think this is one to watch over the next week or so." Chelsea and Arsenal have done business together regularly over the years, with Kai Havertz, the latest player to move between the London clubs. It wouldn't come as a surprise if Arsenal were open to selling Balogun to their rivals, but it remains to be seen whether Chelsea will firm up their interest in the youngster. Key Arsenal player set for a new transfer approaches in the next few days, says a journalist. Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey is set to be approached by Saudi Pro League clubs again in the next few days, according to Fabrizio Romano in his exclusive CaughtOffside column. The Ghana international has been a key player for the Gunners, and it's clear they won't let him leave on the cheap, but it looks like doubts over his future remain. Arsenal fans will surely have mixed feelings about this after Partey's superb form for so much of last season, but it also seems evident that Mikel Arteta is rebuilding with a younger crop of midfield players ahead of the new campaign. Declan Rice and Kai Havertz coming in should give Arsenal something different in that area of the pitch, and Partey will perhaps have to look elsewhere to continue his career elsewhere. For now, Romano says the 30-year-old's priority is to remain in Europe, but it seems the strongest interest appears to be coming from Saudi Arabian clubs. He said, "I am told Saudi clubs will try to approach Thomas Partey again in the next few days. On the player side, the priority remains European football, and he wants to continue in Europe. Let's see if Saudi clubs will be able to change his mind." As previously reported, it will also be important to persuade Arsenal because they want an important fee to let Partey go. Journalist says outstanding player isn't with Arsenal right now, he could be sold. Charlie Patino hasn't travelled with the Arsenal squad to Germany as he prepares to leave the Gunner this summer. That's according to Tom Canton, who was speaking on his YouTube channel about the midfielder. Canton says that all indications he is receiving has suggested that the outstanding midfielder will be leaving Arsenal this summer, and while there hasn't been an update on that front for a little while, he is currently not with the squad as he prepares to leave. Patino was earmarked as one of the most promising young players at Arsenal for quite some time, but sadly, it hasn't really worked out for the youngster at the Emirates, and now a move is on the cards. Canton shared what he knows about the midfielder. He said, "I think we are going to see Patino leave this summer. That's the indication we have been given about Charlie Patino. There has been no noise on that front, but he hasn't travelled with the squad to Germany, unless that has somehow gone under the radar a little bit. But at the moment, he remains a player who could leave Arsenal on a permanent deal this summer. It's always a shame when an academy player doesn't quite make the grade at their club, and in Patino's case, it's especially sad. Earmarked as one of the most talented players to ever come through Hale End, big things were expected of this young man, but Arsenal's progression in recent times has led to limited first team chances, and now he is ready to spread his wings and go elsewhere. Whether or not Arsenal live to regret letting Patino go remains to be seen, but we can't help but feel that this is one that could backfire. Mikel Arteta could start unbelievable Arsenal player in first pre-season friendly on Thursday. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta could hand new signing Kai Havertz his first start for the club in a pre-season friendly against Nuremberg on Thursday. A report from the Daily Mail has shared more details about the Spaniard's plans for his latest signing. Arsenal fans can start to get excited about seeing their first new signing in action. Kai Havertz will have plenty of to prove when he dons an Arsenal shirt for the first time. He was signed for a hefty £65 million fee off the back of a mixed spell at Chelsea. There is an argument that he was played out of position for much of his time at Stamford Bridge. Arteta clearly sees something in Havertz and now wants to hand him his first start this week against Nuremberg. He has already trained with his new teammates, and the best way to adapt to Arteta's tactics and setup is to play. It will be really interesting to see what position he will play in on Thursday. The report from the Daily Mail suggests Havertz is hoping to make his first appearance this week during Arsenal's short trip to Germany. He is expected to play in Granit Xhaka's role after he moved to Bayer Leverkusen. It's not a role he was used in very often at Chelsea, who regularly used him as a centre forward, given their lack of options in that role. Arsenal have plenty of players already in attacking areas and therefore have the flexibility to play Havertz in his ideal position. The unbelievable playmaker has a skill set that should suit playing in a slightly different role. He is very good at starting the press from the front, although is unlikely to be the strongest tackler. Havertz is also fantastic in the air and could be a real threat arriving late in the box and getting on the end of crosses from Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. At Leverkusen, he also recorded plenty of assists and will have the opportunity to play as a more of a playmaker if deployed in a deeper role. Arteta handing Havertz a start on Thursday would show he is keen to get him into the starting lineup as quickly as possible. He will be under pressure to justify the hefty price tag now attached to him, something that was weighed on Arsenal players in the past after big moves. Mikel Arteta has told the 22-year-old star not to leave Arsenal this summer. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has apparently told Emile Smith-Rowe that he wants him to stay at the club beyond the end of the summer transfer window. The Gunners are all set to have one of their best windows in recent times. Kai Havertz has already come in, while deals for Declan Rice and Jurriën Timber have reportedly been agreed. William Saliba and Reece Nelson's contract have been extended too. It's a brilliant time to be associated with Arsenal right now, and Arteta has no interest in letting Smith-Rowe leave, claims Charles Watts while speaking to Team Talk. Emile Smith-Rowe had a really difficult season at Mikel Arteta's Arsenal last time out. The Englishman, whose goal in the under-21 Euros against Israel was branded as tremendous by Darren Ambrose, really struggled with injuries. He was limited to less than 200 minutes of football in all competitions, and multiple rumors ahead of the start of the summer transfer window suggested he could be sold. However, Watts has revealed that Arteta has no intention of letting him go and has even conveyed that message to Smith-Rowe in a private conversation. He said, "He is certainly not on the Arsenal scarp hip. Mikel Arteta has told him that he wants him to stay. I think going into the summer, I thought there was a good chance he could probably go, but by all accounts, they want him to stay and are going to give him an opportunity, which I'm really happy with. This is absolutely the right thing to do. Smith Rowe is one of the most talented young players in England at the moment. His ability and potential are absolutely massive, and selling him after one difficult season where he barely played would have been a silly mistake. The Englishman had a really impressive tournament for the England under 21s in the Euros. He showed the world what he can do, and it's now time for him to do that in an Arsenal shirt. It will be interesting to see how many opportunities Smith Rowe will get next season. Journalist says crazy Arsenal player would have left if they didn't make top 4. Bukayo Saka would have left Arsenal this summer if the Gunners didn't finish in the top 4 last season. That is the view of Dean Jones, who was speaking on the Ranks FC Ultras podcast about the attacker's situation at Arsenal. Things are more than rosy at the Emirates right now, but let's not forget 12 months ago there was something of an ongoing meltdown happening at Arsenal after Spurs pipped them to fourth place at the end of the season. Luckily, Arsenal turned things around straight away and challenged for the title last term. But if that recovery didn't happen, Saka could have been on his way out. Indeed, Jones says that Saka could well have ended up at Manchester City if Arsenal didn't get top 4, noting that the Premier League champions were indeed big fans of the winger. Jones shared his verdict on the crazy England star. He said, "If they hadn't made the top 4 last season, I think he would have left by now. I think this summer you would have seen Saka playing somewhere else. I think he would have been at Manchester City because they liked him. He wouldn't have been able to wait any longer." Saka could well have been keen to leave Arsenal if they didn't finish in the top 4 last season, but in all honesty, that doesn't matter now. Indeed, Arsenal did qualify for the Champions League last season, and any speculation around what would have happened with Saka if Arsenal failed is now irrelevant. Of course, more questions will inevitably be raised if Arsenal do dip again in the coming years, but if they add the likes of Declan Rice and Jurriën Timber to their squad, they should be in a good position to push on even further. Saka has committed his future at Arsenal, and he probably won't be leaving anytime soon. Arsenal are now confident they will sign world-class player this week. The Declan Rice to Arsenal transfer saga has been a long one, but it looks like it's finally about to come to an end. The Gunners went into the market with multiple targets, but their priority was always Declan Rice. The West Ham skipper is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and Mikel Arteta was desperate to get him. It has been a while since reports revealed that Arsenal and West Ham have agreed on a fee for Rice, but the deal is yet to be completed. Now Bene Jacobs has shared some good news with Gunners fans on Twitter. Back at the end of last month, The Athletic revealed that Arsenal and West Ham United had agreed a £105 million fee for the transfer of Declan Rice. Payment terms were still an issue back then, but that was resolved 6 days ago as well. The same outlet claimed West Ham had given the midfielder permission to undergo a medical and finalize personal terms ahead of a move. Arsenal fans have been waiting with bated breath for an announcement on the deal, but that hasn't been done yet. The Gunners have even flown over to Germany for their preseason camp, and Rice is not a part of that. Gunners supporters don't like waiting too long, and luckily for them, Jacobs has revealed that they won't have to wait for much longer. He says Arsenal are now confident of finalizing everything this week, with Rice set to join his new teammates on the flight to the United States on Sunday. Jacobs tweeted, "Arsenal confident everything will be finalized in time to have Declan Rice fly out for their preseason tour of America on Sunday. The Declan Rice to Arsenal deal has been done for a while now, just the final details need to be sorted out. Gunners fans have nothing to be worried about, but nobody likes waiting. That's why there has been an uproar of sorts on social media, but all that will disappear once Arsenal release the announcement video. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.